Good evening, Halloween people. I'm Snow White, resident Disney princess, and it's officially my favorite time of the year, and I don't plan on shutting up about it anytime soon.
Pardon me, I know. Voice is a little rough. Hi folks, I'm Alexa. Happy Halloween! As Halloween gets closer, I'm here to make sure we all enjoy the wonderful season safely. So welcome to the top 5 paranormal games you should never play on Halloween. Number 5, Ouija Board. Alrighty folks, I'm kicking off today with the paranormal game you should never play ever. I'm keeping it short and sweet before I start hissing like a tea kettle, because if you're a regular around this, area of the interwebs, you already know how this is gonna go. Ouija boards or communication boards are devices that are similar to an old-fashioned telephone, in the sense that you're placing a call and anything can pick up. Sure, you might think you're chatting with some long-lost relative, but anything can be on the other side of that planchette. Sure, I love the aesthetic of the board, but you'll never ever catch me wearing planchette accessories on the same day I'm wearing my board shirt or sweatpants. Don't use the damn thing, and especially not on Halloween night. Number 4, one-man hide-and-go-seek. So this is a game that has deep roots in a ritual. To be exact, necromancy. In this game, you summon a spirit into the body of a doll, who then plays hide-and-seek with you. Seems innocent enough, but if you're familiar with any creepy doll lore, Annabelle, I'd recommend against it. Now, while I'll tell you all how to play this, I really wish you wouldn't, but the information is already out there, so I might as well make sure you're getting the facts and warnings. To play this game, you need a doll, scissors or something else sharp, red thread and a needle, rice, hair and or nail clippings from yourself, salt water in a cup, a working TV, and be in a bathroom. There's going to be a fair amount of work for this ritual, so you've been warned. An important note, you must name the doll. This is not going to work if you haven't named the doll. You can't give the doll your name. So to make my life easier, instead of saying insert name here, I'll name my hypothetical doll Annie. If you know, you know. Once you have everything, go into the bathroom and cut the doll open. Remove all the fluff and filling, then restuff it with the rice and the clippings. Sew the doll back up with the red thread and use any remaining thread to tie up the doll. Run a bath filled with water and put the doll on the sink counter, and then find a hiding spot and go to it. Doesn't have to be in the room. Place the cup of salt water and the sharp object on the floor of your hiding spot. Once the time reaches 3 a.m., tell the doll, Annie is it, 3 times. Go into the bathroom, put the doll into the water-filled tub, then turn off all the lights in your home. After you've done that, go to your hiding spot, turn on your TV, close your eyes, count to 10, and then pick up the sharp object and go back into the bathroom. The doll should still be there, so say to the doll, I found you, Annie, and after you say this, you have to impale the doll with the sharp object. Place the doll back onto the counter and run back to your hiding place. Do not take the sharp object back after you punctured the doll. Now that you're in your hiding spot, remain silent. If anything happens to your TV, like flickering, images, turning itself off, that means the spirit and the doll is near. After you've been hidden for a bit, you have to take half, or as much as you can, of the salt water into your mouth. Don't swallow it, just hold it in your mouth and search for the doll again. Oh, and make sure you bring the rest of the cup of the salt water with you. So once you found the doll, and hopefully it's still in the bathroom, you have to pour the rest of the salt water onto it, spit the water into your mouth onto it, and tell it, I win 3 times. This ends the game. Once the game has ended, dry the doll and burn it. If there are any remains of the doll left, put salt on it and discard it far, far, far away. Couple of side notes, if you have your phone, keep it on Do Not Disturb and have the brightness at its lowest and don't use it. Try to stay as calm and silent as possible, especially if you think it's in the room with you. Try to keep all doors unlocked in case you need to run away at any time. Granted, this is only an emergency resort. Try not to leave the house at any point during the game. Keep some natural salt with you and, line the door to the room you're in. Heck, keep some religious tools with you if it makes you feel safer. Oh, and try not to hide in any places where you could get stuck or cornered. And above all, use your common sense, please. Number 3, Hail Mary. Does this game have a much more mainstream name? Sure, but this interweb platform doesn't like the B word at all, so bear with me. Originally in history, Mary wasn't summoned for the purpose of, eye gouging or other macabre reasons, but to show a woman her future. The woman in question would do a full candlelit ritual, and if executed correctly, she would either catch a glimpse of her future husband's face, or she would see a skull, indicating she would pass before marriage. Much less horrifying and way more depressing than today's version, if you ask me. And you're here, so I'm assuming so. Since I know this is what you were all waiting for, I'll detail the spooky Mary ritual. For this mess, you'll need a mirror, candles that are preferably black, yellow, or purple or white, and matches or a lighter. So the game starts by turning off all the lights in the house, or at least the room you'll be in. Arrange all but one of your candles around your mirror, or on the sides of your mirror, once again, minus the one you'll be holding during the ritual. Light all the candles, including the one you're holding, and once you're calm, close your eyes and begin spinning in a circle while chanting B-L-O-O-D-Y, Mary 13 times. Try and visualize some sort of entity as you chant her name. After the 13th chant, open your eyes and face the mirror if you aren't already. You're either going to see her form in the mirror or only catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure leaving your mirror before she mauls you. Those who have seen her and survived her encounter have described her as a rotting skeletal figure with nothing more than redness-covered bones, long sharp nails, some rotting flesh, and clumps of red matted hair. Some people say she's eyeless, others say, she wears the eyes of her past victims. Still others say she will drag you into the mirror to live with her forever. Have fun! Number 2, the Midnight Game. Yeah, I'm sure most of you horror lovers have already heard of the infamous Midnight Man and his game, but it's just so dang creepy that I gotta list it here anyways. If you aren't familiar with the rules and the purpose of this game, welcome. So the game itself is pretty simple, but the ritual or, summoning is pretty complex and not for those of you who, can't see something to the end or follow rules closely. So ADHD people, maybe skip this one. For those of you with a morbid curiosity, this is how you summon the Midnight Man and how to play his game. So for starters, you need a candle and a holder, plenty of matches, and no, for this one you can't substitute the matches for a lighter, a pen and paper, something to draw human redness with, a wooden front door, and salt. So everything should be set up and ready before midnight, since you're not going to have time to go back for anything you need once the game has begun. You start this off by writing your name on the paper and pen, before adding a drop of your personal redness, if you catch my drift, and placing the paper in front of the wooden door. Next, when you turn off all electronics and lights, this is where you use the matches to light your candle. We're talking turn off all your lights, all your electronics, everything digital techie. Once it has reached 11:59, set your lit candle next to the paper and begin knocking on your door 22 times, completing the 20-second knock as the clock strikes midnight. After the 20-second knock, open the door, blow out the candle, close this door, and immediately relight the candle. Begin moving all over your home and don't stop until 3:33 a.m. During the course of the game, be mindful of the following. Do not stay in one place for longer than a few seconds at most, or he will catch you. Do not taunt the Midnight Man. If your candle goes out and you're unable to relight it within about 15 seconds, stop what you're doing, draw a circle of salt around you, and do not move until 3:33. Do not leave your house until the game has ended. And even if you aren't sure if the summoning worked, follow the rules until 3:33 just to be safe. Don't go to sleep during the game. Don't turn on any lights or electronics. Your candle is the only light source allowed. You'll know when he's here, as you'll feel panic, dread, hear voices, see movement out of the corner of your eye, hear knocks and thuds throughout your home, and so forth and so on. Long story short, don't let him catch you. Some say he will make you hallucinate your greatest fear, some say he will haunt you for the rest of your life, others say he will rip out your organs one by one if he catches you. Look, I'm against playing any of today's games in general, but please avoid it, especially on nights when the veil between worlds is the easiest to cross. And number 1, the 11-mile game. So to do this one, you need a car or a motorcycle. Basically something you can drive, although you'd be extra ballsy to do this with a motorcycle, and a strong wish. So let's start with how to find the 11-mile road. Keep in mind, this is a one-person game. No friends allowed, no buddies, no helplines. To find the road, you need to begin your drive at night. Try to choose like a late time when there's no other drivers on the road for safety reasons. Find like a back road inside some dense woods. It has to be inside the forest though, not outside or around it. Once you're inside the woods, begin driving down the desolate roads until your intuition tells you you found it. Keep your mind and eyes open. You'll know it when you see it. So now that you've found the road, you can begin driving down it right away, or you can take a moment to stop the car and collect your thoughts. I recommend that, because this is the only time during the game where you can stop the car and or turn back. Choose wisely. If you've chosen to drive the road before I go over what you can expect, here are some notes to keep in mind during the drive. No listening to music, no radio. Do not open your doors or windows. Don't stop the car, especially to investigate anything you might hear or see inside or outside. Just keep going, and do not use a phone or any other device. Oh, and finally, don't drive faster than 40 kilometers an hour. It's mainly just like a safety hazard for you and your car. You don't want to hit a tree. Alrighty, so now that we've gone over the warnings, here's what to expect now that you've begun your 11-mile drive. Nothing is supposed to happen during the first mile. It might get cold, you can turn on the heat if you need to, but keep driving. Ditto for the second mile. Now around the third mile, you should begin to see movement, but ignore it. Don't take your eyes off the road, and most importantly, keep driving. During the fourth mile, you'll start to hear voices, but ignore them. Alrighty, 5th mile time. Trees around you might start to vanish. A lake may appear, ditto for the moon being more brilliant than usual, but keep driving no matter what. Around the 6th mile, the trees will return, the brightness will disappear, but your headlights are going to start to flicker, and the radio might start talking to you. Don't try to mess with the radio, ignore the chaos, and dear Lord, keep driving. Sometime during the 7th mile, you're gonna hear voices. They might even be coming from your back seat, but ignore them, and definitely do not turn around. Nothing significant changes during the 8th mile, but sometime around the 9th your vehicle might stall, so close your eyes if your vehicle stops. Don't open them for any reason until it starts again, and then slam on the gas and keep driving. At the 10th mile, don't look in your mirrors. Not even to look in your back seat. Okie dokie, 11th mile last stretch time, your vehicle's gonna stall again in front of a red light. But, and I cannot stress this enough, Do not look at it. Close your eyes, cover your ears, whatever you have to do. Just don't open your eyes until your vehicle starts again. Ignore the voices, ignore whatever's grabbing you, ignore everything no matter what. Once your car restarts, continue driving until you reach the dead end up ahead. And here's where you make your wish. Don't just wish for it, like envision it. Imagine it's with you now. If you wish for something small enough to fit into your pocket, check there. If you wish for something bigger, check your back seat or your trunk. If you wish for something that isn't material, then go back home and wait. It'll come to you very soon. But there is a price, and was it worth it? If you can live with whatever follows you home from your journey, then you can live happily with your newly gained wish. But for the love of everything, if you're crazy enough to do this, please don't risk it on Halloween night. It's just not safe. And that brings us to the end of our time, so once again, please don't play the games I talked about today. If you enjoyed my chaos rambling, could you help us out by giving this video a like, subscribing if you aren't already, hit the bell for more Halloween content from us here at Top 5 Scary Videos, and I'll see y'all next time, you lovely spooky people, when I'm, spooky again.